on WSTX 970 AM. We're here this evening. It's a beautiful evening here on St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and I'm here with M Love.
Good night, listening audience. Happy Friday to everyone. It's May 22nd. We are winding down. Monday is Memorial Day, so I hope everybody's staying safe and not getting too much sunburn at the beach this weekend.
Alrighty. And of course, there is so much that we want to unpack this evening in terms of what's happening, not just here in the Virgin Islands, but throughout the region and perhaps in other parts as well. Um, so we'll see how that unfolds. But of course, we're what's trending right now? What is it? What's trending in the VI?
I have no idea.
Graduation.
Oh, yes.
Everybody's graduating.
Yes, yes.
I saw this kindergarten child graduate at a graduation ceremony. I don't know if they should put the kindergartners through that. And man, you should see him. He's bored. He has to find something exciting to do.
Long-winded, especially
You
for
know,
kids.
he's twisting his hands. He's throwing his head back. Man, all kinds of things. The only thing he did was to take off his shoes, his socks and shoes. But it was just crazy.
Well, maybe it was coming. I remember when my son was graduating, I was pretty nervous because I thought he was going to be the kid that was going to be jumping up there, and I would have to been sliding on my chair in the audience. But thankfully, he did not do that. But there was a kid that was jumping on the stage.
Mhm. I mean, you put children through these things. I remember when, there was a time carnival or festival celebrations used to alternate between Christian State and Frederick State. There was even a time when the festival village was in the Kingsville area. I'm right across from the graveyard. So we used to have, sometimes we had two villages operating at the same time, and there were times we had an alternative one each year. But anyway, there was that year when we were in Christian State with Mandy and Amber watching the parade, and one of them decided, man, I got to strip.
I don't think it was
Took off.
me.
It was Amber.
Definitely was
Took
not
off
me.
pants. When he pulled on the pampers, I said, it's time, we gotta go. We gotta go. We left and went home, Yeah, so children get tired of these things sometimes. Those who are well behaved, yes, it's okay, but some of them, they can't stand it. But anyway, since it is graduation time, we have this special song we want to play for the graduates, no matter what level, college, high school, junior high, elementary, whatever it is. We have a graduation song for you. So we want you guys to listen to that right now. Alrighty, well, there you have it. I'm graduates. I know all of you have not graduated, but because you have some graduations that are coming up. But that's for you guys out there. Again, congratulations to all of you, and congratulations to the parents too, because you've got strong parents, committed parents, devoted parents who are behind those youngsters to make sure that they stick to it, do the work. There is this. I always give that quote: "The heights that Whitman Richardson kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards in the night." And some of them really put in the time. They really put out that effort to get it done.
We're in the midnight oil, huh?
Yeah.
Definitely big up to all who went over and beyond to achieve valedictorian, salutatorian. You guys outdid yourselves. Round of applause for. And those in the top 25, I mean, that's motivation. For those who are going to be in 12th grade when school reopens, this is your chance to do something. I mean,
and while we,
just to have honors, even if you can't get the file.
But we give accolades to the guys who are the cream of the crop, the top ones. But you also have students who are faced with challenges, difficulties, and yet they persevere, to get it done. So we have to really commend those who fall into such a category, big them up. So big up to you guys, who
definitely
had challenges, but you overcame and you got it done. I understand there is one school where they have a significant number of students who are on the honor roll. I think it is Charlotte Amalie High School in St. Thomas. So congratulations to them. It's about 63 or 65% of the students, I understand, are honor students. So
good job.
We got to big them up.
Keep on excelling.
Mm-hmm. Now, folks, I want to say to you parents who are listening to this program, as well as those who are following us on Facebook and other media, I want to just sort of like, it's not even a word of caution, but to put us in remembrance that we have personal obligations, as well as societal obligations, family obligations, different kinds of obligations. We do have responsibilities. And I think among these things is that we ought to understand who we are in this matrix, what's required of us, how we ought to conduct ourselves. And so if you really want to be on the right track when it comes to that, I think you ought to have an understanding of life, what life entails, what are the forces behind this life we live. And I personally have arrived at a determination, a conclusion, if I may, that there is a higher power. There is an entity, a being, I'd rather say a being responsible for my presence on earth, and I think for all of us who are here, even for the animals and all the species, someone is responsible for that. Somebody who carefully thought about this thing, put in place the architectural rendition, if I may, the blueprint for it all, how that being wanted to see it all unfold, and hence the reason why we're all here in this matrix. I also believe that there is a dimension beyond this one here. And so, having arrived at such determinations, I try to be thankful, to be grateful for this experience, for this life, for this journey. And so I pay what you call obeisance to the Creator. I give worship to the Creator. I give respect to the Creator. I thank the Creator for being here, and I hope that you guys can see where I'm coming from, and that especially you, the younger ones, would understand why I take such a position in life, because I have been blessed. And the blessings I've experienced, I did not, devise them, bring them about. These are blessings that came to me by means I cannot even readily identify. Now, when I say that, besides those blessings I'm speaking about that comes from sources that I can't really identify or pinpoint to someone else, other than that, it's the Creator, Most High. I am blessed by people, people who meet me, people who are good to me, people who are kind to me, people who are generous with me, people who assist me in different ways. I'm thankful for all of that. I don't even think we have accidents in terms of the persons you encounter in this life. I think that people come into your life for a purpose, either to be a blessing unto you, and sometimes to be a curse.
Or should you say lesson? That's what I say, right? You know, best lesson or a lesson, but sometimes it actually feels like a curse.
Yeah, I don't know if curse is the appropriate terminology to use, but there are persons who bless me. I've been in situations where, from out of the blue, somebody I was in a fix, if I may, and somebody reached out to me and helped me. You know, I've seen people bless others. I've seen folks in the supermarket sometimes just decided to bless somebody by paying for the groceries.
Yes.
And somebody told me, I'm not going to identify who it is, but one of our local people told me that he was at a gas station and I think he paid for a small amount of gas, either $2 or whatever it was. And a white person, I want to say that because sometimes we have an attitude towards people of another race, a different skin color. But he told me a white man came to him and offered to bless him by buying, I think it was $30 gas that the person bought for him. And that's a blessing. At a time when the price of gas is
Sky high.
skyrocketing, for somebody to come and just bless you and say, I'm going to pay for gas for you and pay for $30 gas. So we were blessed in many ways, and we hope that everyone would try to be a blessing unto others,
Right.
in addition to the blessings that you receive from divine providence, if I may, for lack of another expression. And so I thought I should mention that to you guys out there. We are expecting a couple of youngsters to join us. I understand that they were on the way. I haven't seen them. I want to leave out some of what we really want to discuss until they get here. This program is called Choices. And folks, I want to ask you to encourage young people in particular to tune into this program. They can join us via Facebook. They can join us on via radio and be a part of the discussions here because it's all about making wise decisions, making the right choices that can be beneficial to you, as opposed to taking, or rather making decisions, making choices that can end up being disastrous. And we have many, many cases like that. And so there is one I want to bring up, but if you have something on your mind, in your core that you want to bring up, go ahead and do that, Mandy.
Not right now.
All right, well, let me just tell you guys something. And sometimes we don't understand how things pan out in this life because we have a situation on a neighboring Caribbean island where a young lady by a certain last name was unalived because she decided to call off a relationship. She was in a relationship and she decided she no longer wanted to be in this relationship. And the young man couldn't deal with that. So he unalived her. What is sad is that I understand that this young lady by that particular last name, well, she shared the same last name with another young woman who had been unalived a couple of years before. And the judge had just rendered a decision to reduce the prison sentence for that young man. And this case comes up. And I mentioned that because listeners, viewers, we have so much of that happening across the region and in other parts as well. There are countries where men have been known to throw acid
That's India.
in a young woman's face simply because she decided to call up a relationship. Sometimes they'll tell you it's because of infidelity. Even if it was because of infidelity, you have no
Just got
right.
somebody for life, you
Yeah,
gonna damage them?
yeah.
Like, really?
You have no right to do that.
You know
You
how
have you have no right to unalive somebody simply because the person doesn't want to be in a relationship with you.
exactly. People need to learn how to deal with their emotions because it's out of control right now. Just like um I want to tell young ladies in particular, like, be careful in online dating. Like,
Mhm,
you don't know that person.
mhm,
No matter, like, you would probably let some months pass by and you thinking, okay, well, we've been talking for months now, and you finally decide a year come and you decide to make it official, and you and them going, y'all item girlfriend and boyfriend, and then you don't even know that that same person that you didn't know and you have now accepted as a boyfriend is going to be the same one to unalive you.
mhm,
They just had a case recently with a lady from I think she's from New York or something. She got married to this guy that she met online, a Jamaican at it again. I mean, not to like highlight it like that, but I mean any Caribbean person, any man for whatever reason could be sleeping with the enemy person. Okay, so we really have to have the spirit of discernment when we meet people, and we need to get down on our knees in prayer and say, Lord, if this person that I have an interest in will bring chaos and destruction into my life, please remove me. Remove me or remove them.
mhm,
So you don't end up in a situation where you are now gone from
mhm,
earth
mhm,
because of engaging with such a demonic person.
mhm. I don't know. And by the way, for those of you who want to join us in this discussion, the numbers to call us 773-0390 and 773-0490. Of course, that is preceded by 340, which is the area code. I don't even want to categorize persons in terms of whether they're crazy, demonic, or anything. I think it's perhaps the absence of mental development, the absence of mental wellness. Um, it's the result of poor decision making. And maybe it's incumbent upon those of us who are leaders and teachers to engage in more discourse with young people so that we can steer them in the right direction when it comes to these matters. Um,
It's just getting really crazy because the young lady that went to celebrate her birthday in Zanzibar or whatever, the black
mhm,
girl Ashley Jenny, and she got engaged to the so-called fiance. I don't even know the man's name, the
mhm,
Caucasian man. I don't even know. That case, I guess, is still unfolding
uh-huh,
because she did. I mean, she on alive, and who knows what really happened?
yeah.
They still
Well, it's one thing when you have grown adults, you know, acting in an irrational manner to unalive somebody, to disfigure somebody, simply because that person no longer wants to be in a relationship with you.
that's that these people.
But for the young people, it's to me it's a little different with young people. I've known of cases. I know of a case of two young people, 40 years of age, who their parents didn't want them to see each other, and they decided to unalive themselves. It's like, if our parents will not allow us to see each other in this life, then we move on to unaliving ourselves so that we
We
can
could
see
be
each other
happy.
in the next life.
That's like a Romeo Juliet
Yeah.
situation.
Hmm. And
I
this
think
is.
parents need to um have a whole both parents from both sides
Mhm,
need to come over and like squash that, have an agreement
mhm,
between the kids and allow them to, date with some type of boundaries.
Mhm. Well, the
Yes.
whole thing about it is
I
that
don't know.
communication is important. Part of the training, we would hope that parents um, give their children is one where they sit down with their children from time to time and discuss matters of real life situations. You
Definitely.
cannot train your and raise your children in a bubble where they're sort of like insulated from real world happenings. And by and large, that's how we do it in West Indian communities. You don't find parents having that kind of discourse with their children. And I may be wrong, and somebody can call and correct me. But given the age we're living in, the abundance of information and misdirection, misinformation that's on the internet, I think it's important for parents to have that kind of discourse
I
with
don't
their
know.
children.
Shout out to the parents who taking that time to have discussion with their kids, because in today's world, parents too busy. They don't, when they come home from work, they got all kind of stuff going on. They cooking dinner, they doing different stuff, and then these kids, they are bound in cell phones, tablets, whatever tech stuff right now. So it's like a bunch of miscommunication. That's why I think half of the issues that's going on is like no more sit down at a dinner table and have a discussion. People probably just collecting foods and going to rooms and stuff like that. I don't even know.
So you're saying that
No,
well,
no
of
more
course,
sit down at the dinner table.
it's difficult to have that kind of structure. When I grew up, families used to sit at the breakfast table, and even if they missed the lunch gathering, but they did it in the evening for supper or dinner, whatever you call it. And we also said grace before meals and grace after meals, and sometimes there would be a discussion. Sometimes it's just like the bedtime stories were actually at the dinner table and not in the bedroom. Parents would be sharing stories with the children whilst they're still at the dinner table. We don't really have this today, and even if people gather at the dinner table, the breakfast table, the table of lunch, everybody has a cell phone, and
I,
everybody's buried in the cell phone.
yeah, and I really think like right now we need a lot more of youth orchestrated type of workshops or something. Just like how Home Depot does have these little workshops for these little kids. They come and they build the airplane and stuff like that. Youths need to have some type of like mentorship type programs to like deal with how would you deal with a situation that involves emotions,
Yeah.
because this is the issue. People get involved with people, and then for whatever reason compatibility is not there, and then the young lady perhaps feel like, okay, I can't be with him any longer. He has narcissistic ways. He's
Hmm.
always gaslighting. He's always blaming me for cheating
Hmm.
and different stuff. And she just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna escalate myself out of this relationship
Hmm.
so we could just move on. You find your person, I find my peace and the next person. But then the young man don't know how to deal with the let go of her moving on, and then he just say, you know what? No, 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 no. If she can't be my girl no more, nobody else gonna get her
Hmm.
on her life.
Well, we do have programs in some school districts, in some jurisdictions. You do have programs where they teach children um, how to develop emotional intelligence and so on.
Yeah, they need
We
they
we
need
don't really do
this.
that in the VI, and it is something that we
It
need
needs to be
because
implemented. I'm sorry,
yeah, because
because
even the programs that I'm talking about, or not the programs, but rather the incidents we've had in certain other jurisdictions, we've had some right here in the territory. We've had I can point to a number of cases where somebody unalived someone else, and I'm talking young people.
This just
So,
happened like last year, if I'm not mistaken. We had an
mhm,
incident where a young lady lost her life,
yeah,
and it was, I don't know the full details of what really happened, but
mhm,
the rumored talks in the streets is that she moved on.
mhm,
You go and take the move on.
mhm,
Male ego trip out.
mhm. It's not just a matter of the male ego. I want us to put this thing in the right perspective. Um, Egos are bruised, yes, but we also have situations where it's uh, it's it's a deep emotional
Yeah, we
pain.
know that
It's heartbreak.
attachment.
It's heartbreak, and the question is, how can people learn to deal with heartbreak in a mature, rational manner?
It's not easy for some of us. I'm just gonna be real. We as human beings, we wire differently.
You talk
Some,
about male and female.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
we wire differently.
Well, we are
Some
unique,
people,
but
they still have, they have females who don't go off mentally too.
I
You
understand
know
that.
what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So we
But usually, a female can handle heartbreak better than a male.
definitely.
Usually, and so the question is, how do we teach our young men to deal with heartbreak, to even deal with relationships, and how do we teach young people in general to lay down the proper parameters as far as a relationship is concerned, so that you do not bring unnecessary offense to the other partner. These are things I disagree with those who feel that we shouldn't teach those things. I think these
No,
things
I
should be
think it
taught.
needs to be taught because we need to lessen these emotional violence outbreaks.
Mhm,
You know, this is
mhm.
getting ridiculous. I mean, look at the cases now. These grown adults and these, I honestly, I'm single and I'm afraid to even put myself into a relationship
Mhm,
because you don't even sort of know if you're choosing a good apple or a bad apple
mhm,
in these times.
mhm. Well, let me just say that now we talk about the young people acting in an irrational manner, which can sometimes be deadly. But I want us to also understand that we have adults who sometimes do not exercise the kind of behavior one would expect of them.
Right.
I just saw a scenario on Facebook sometime earlier today where a tourist in one of the neighboring Caribbean islands apparently was driving on the wrong side of the road.
Well,
And the other driver became upset and began sort of like, how should I put it? He went off on the woman. Now, the woman was a little, how should I put it? She was a little bold and unrestrained, self-restraint, lacking self-restraint, if I
so,
mean,
so,
because she exited her vehicle
uh-huh.
and walked towards
Oh,
the other driver.
oh, so there was in a almost again a tussle then.
Well, he was very aggressive, and he spoke about how um uh, you know why the government should give driving privileges to foreigners who come to the
He's
place.
out of place. I'm sorry to say like that because would he need to put himself in a situation where what if you went to a place and you ain't accustomed to how they're driving over there, you would have liked that you can't drive.
Mhm,
It just this is the thing with the world today.
mhm.
It's a simple thing. The person
She made a
ain't
mistake.
familiar. They made a mistake. All
Yeah.
you have to do is handle. That's why we have issues now.
Mhm,
People don't know how to deal with situations in a humble and calming manner. That's
mhm,
what causes half of the chaos in the world.
mhm.
The attitudes of
But you know what was
humans.
interesting? Like I said, this happened on one of the neighboring Caribbean islands. But we had people from the Virgin Islands commenting.
And let me hear how
And
they
well,
they
them,
answers were.
some of them actually supported
This
the
guy
local guy.
that was
Yeah,
tripping out and
yeah,
saying that the
yeah,
foreigners shouldn't be
yeah.
allowed
They
to drive.
felt that these foreigners, these tourists, come down to the islands and they have a sense of entitlement, and they want to take certain positions in some scenarios that they should not take. And
Okay, but they need to.
but the guy was the I found that the guy, in going after the woman, his language
Was just not it.
he was cursing, he was berating
Yeah, that's
the woman.
that's what I'm talking about.
And
I know you're upset,
yeah,
but if you were coming a humble approach, maybe she wanna get so
right,
feisty back to
right,
to get
right. And there are persons who said that what should have happened here is that the guy should have had a different tone,
exactly
use a different kind of language, because our islands depend to a large extent on tourism. And so you want to present a different kind of, an atmosphere and air
Yeah,
of
because
hospitality.
now she is gonna go back to her place
More than likely.
and she gonna talk about, what I encountered when I went to such and such island.
Yeah.
I was driving on the wrong side of the road because I'm unfamiliar with their direction of driving, and she gonna say how this guy he was being a total moron. He went off on me
Right.
and whatnot. So
go ahead.
That's an issue.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, Ben.
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, you guys are downstairs. I'm gonna have somebody check you all out.
All right.
Okay, just hold on. Okay. Yeah, okay, so as I was saying, my folks, we are expecting a couple of youngsters to join us. I understand. I just got a call. I think they're on their way. They're downstairs, and so I'm just making arrangements so somebody can meet them and show them the way up here to the studios, and then hopefully we can get into some of the discussions that we really want to get into this evening. Are we short of a mic?
Maybe.
Can you see if Josh can get us another mic? I think it's two of them coming in. And so we're going to be touching upon some matters of importance to perhaps our high school age residents and even college age residents. We're going to touch upon some matters. And so we hope that you guys will stay tuned. Don't change the dial. Don't skip the page you're on Facebook. Just hold on.
Just share.
All right. Yeah, they can just shift between the two. And I want to say that for those who would like to appear on this program to share with us, feel free to give us a call. You can reach me 340-208-0055. And what's your number, Mandy?
347-477-7197.
That one might be a little difficult. But what's the area code?
Local. Not local, sorry. It's long distance, so they might not. But if you have a cell phone, it really does not matter.
Okay. But anyway, mine is local. It's 340-208-0055. You guys can call me and we can make arrangements to have you guys come in and discuss with us. And for those of you who don't want to come to the studio, we can do this live streaming, we can give you the particulars. You stay at home, you stay wherever you are, and you can just connect with us. So go ahead, Mandy, and do your thing. Your message to the graduates.
I just want to give a message to all the graduating classes of 2026 from all of us at Choices Radio Show. Congratulations on reaching this important milestone in your life. Today marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of another filled with opportunities, challenges, growth, and purpose. To those heading off to college, continue to dream big, Stay focused and never ever stop learning. You know, it's like a wheel, keep on going. College is more than earning a degree, it's about discovering who you are, building lifelong relationships, and preparing yourself to make a difference in the world. Stay disciplined, choose positive influences, and remember that every decision you make today shapes your future for tomorrow. To those entering the workforce, step forward with confidence and pride. The working world needs your energy, creativity, and determination. Whether you begin a career, learn a trade, start a business, or serve your community, always give your best effort. Show respect, remain dependable, and keep striving for excellence even when times get difficult. Life will present obstacles, temptations, and unexpected turns, but remember this: your choices matter. Make choices that uplift your future, your family, and your community. Stay true to your values, believe in yourself, and never let setbacks define your destiny. The future belongs to those who are willing to work for it, believe in it, and fight for it. Congratulations once again, class of 2026. Keep making wise choices, keep reaching higher, and keep making us proud. From Choices Radio Show.
All right.
Congratulations.
All right, Aman. Thanks for delivering this message, Mandy. M Love. We got our guests
Hi.
here with us this evening. And brothers, if you all could just shift a little to your left so that you guys can be seen. Don't worry about me. I don't have to be on camera, but I want you guys to be on camera. Are we seeing everybody? Mandy?
I don't know, Josh might need to fix it. I'll leave it.
Is Josh around? Let him come and fix this camera so that we can have a, and not just a bird's eye view. We want to have an eagle-eyed view of you guys. You know, the eagles, I think, among the bird species, have the best view, if I may. Eagles can stay up in the sky and spot something a mile or 2 miles below, you know. So you don't worry about me if you don't have me watch on, or you want our guests to be seen. All right. That seems to be good. Got everybody? Yeah. All right. So, guys, go ahead and give a shout out to your friends, your family, whoever it is. Just
Yeah,
let them know.
shout out my boy Shaheen.
Pull the mic a little closer to you.
Alright, Shaheen, JB, Maddox, Macario, Azai, who else? My girl. Yeah.
All righty. What about you?
I want to shout out my mom, my parents. I forget what my parents. Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
My girl too.
Mhm.
And my friends.
All right. So tell us who you are. Give us your name and.
My name is Bain Albert.
All right.
My name is Jaden Albert.
All right. Is that the first time that you guys are in a studio like this?
Yeah.
Doing a live.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say a live interview, a live discourse. You know. Well, we're gonna touch upon some things, and you know what? I got a gift for you guys. You know, just for being here this evening, I'm gonna give you guys a gift. Now, you know, I'm gonna get it to you guys. I'm not gonna do this from here, but I'm gonna get your gift to you. My thing is that whenever I have young people come into this program, I'm gonna bless them with a gift. You know.
Congrats to Bain. He just graduated from CHS.
Congratulations. You missed the song. Did you hear the song that we have for the graduates?
No.
All right, let me see if I can, maybe I can play this here. Let me see if I have, sometimes I try to do things and the phone gives me a hard time, you know. Mandy, you have it in your phone?
I'm gonna get it.
But anyway, let me see if that's it. I don't even know. I'm going to try this here. If it's not, I'm just going to cancel it.
Choices Radio Show proudly salutes the graduating class of 2026. Keep making wise choices and chasing your dreams. From the books to the stage, now we're shining bright. Class of 2026, yeah, the future looking bright. Work hard every day, never gave up the fight. Now we celebrating victory tonight. Every lesson, every test brought out the very best. Now the whole world can see how strong our generation can be. Congratulations, graduate. Voices Radio Show says you're truly great. Keep your head up, keep reaching high. Your dreams are waiting in the sky. Class of 2026, stand proud and strong. Your future starts right now. Come along, make wise choices every day, and let your light lead the way. To every graduate across the Virgin Islands and beyond, believe in yourself, stay focused, and never stop dreaming. Oh, class of 2026, your future's bright and full of gifts. Choices Radio cheering loud for you. Go make your dreams come true. Congratulations, graduate. Choices Radio Show says you're truly great. Keep your head up, keep reaching high. Your dreams are waiting in the sky. Class of 2026, stand proud and strong. Your future starts right now. Come along, make wise choices every day, and let your light lead the way.
Songs are vibing.
All right. Then what's your reaction to the song?
Songs are vibing.
Okay. We were trying to get this to get one of the schools to play that at the graduation, but we were told that the principal was in the meeting, and so we couldn't get to speak with him so that we could have had this play at the graduation for the students. It is what it is. We're using this platform here to share it so that everybody can hear it. What grade are you in?
I'm in 11 right now, but going to 12th grade.
You're in 12. You just graduated here. All right. So Ben, tell me more. What has your experience been like attending high school here in the territory? I'm not even going back to all the days of elementary, just high school here. What's it been like to you? What's the experience like?
My high school experience been good. Like the schools, like they give you opportunities to like go to college, like with all like the college fairs and stuff going on. Like, they give you opportunities, and my high school experience it was good.
Are you gonna stay there and go UVI?
Yeah, I'm staying here. I'm going UVI, and I'm going to study criminal justice.
Okay,
Nice.
All right. What's your experience like so far?
So far,
you can just try and share the mic as best as you can so that folks can hear you.
well, so far it's been a good journey. Haven't failed any classes so far, which is good. And my goal is to graduate with honors, and it's going good so far in high school.
Okay, sounds good. You want to graduate with honor. Keep it close to you guys so that you can share, so that folks can hear what you say. And I'm just watching you guys. I got to know you all through Azai, and I can see that your parents are doing a wonderful job raising you guys. So congratulations to them. Big up to them for what they're doing with you. What do you guys like best? Both of you go to Central High?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like best about Central High School?
What I like best about Central High School, like just the people around me, like to be honest.
Okay, when you say the people, you mean everybody?
Yeah. No, like friends,
So your
classmates.
friends, your classmates, etc.
Yeah.
Teachers.
Teachers.
The teachers also. All right.
Cool.
Jen, you?
For me, I think the teachers are very cool, especially Negonde. He's a cool teacher.
What's the name?
Negonde, Elvis Negonde. He's
Elvis
a
Negonde.
math teacher, yeah.
Math teacher, okay.
Yeah, and my friends, like you said, and in general, those around me, it makes Central High School a much better place. Yeah.
And then let me ask you, Ma, any favorite teacher you have?
Any favorite? Probably no. I don't have a favorite.
What about favorite subject?
Favorite subject? Probably marine biology.
Marine biology. And Jalen, you? Favorite subject?
Favorite subject? I'll have to say band appreciation and music appreciation.
Okay, so you play music?
Well, I try to learn it and I find it fun. So yeah.
Alrighty, all right, sounds good. Is there anything about your school you would like change, if I may? Something, if they ask you, let's say, for example, if you find yourself in a position where you're given authority, if I may use that expression,
Mhm.
to change something about your school, what would it be?
I would like definitely rebuild the school.
Rebuild the
Yeah,
school, reconstruct Central High School.
yeah,
Wow.
like fix all the moldy classes and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And what
Oh,
else?
What about the
okay.
cafeteria?
Yeah, the
They need
cafeteria.
more upscale, something different.
Yeah, they need something different.
You guys even eat at the cafeteria
Sometimes.
sometimes.
Yeah, when
Okay.
I'm hungry, I eat there.
Okay, when you're hungry.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Do students have any, how should I put, are they uptight about going to the cafeteria to eat? I remember when I taught at Central High School, the students referred to the cafeteria as Hungry House.
Yeah.
Do they still use that expression?
Well, no.
All right. And then if you went to the Hungry House to eat, as they called it, like somehow, that wasn't very cool of you to be eating in a Hungry House.
Yeah.
You had some students who had such an attitude. Do you still have that kind of attitude?
No, not
Okay.
really. Everyone is just
No.
open to like going to the cafeteria. I don't think they really care anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you let me ask about the principal of the school. Is the principal of the school visible? Do you all get to see the principal
Yeah.
on a regular basis?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
He's always there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And interacting with, she
Yeah.
walks the corridor and meets the students, etc.
Yeah.
Very good. It's good to hear that. I've known of principals who just chose to remain in their offices.
Just
Yeah.
stack up the paychecks.
Yeah.
That's basically the job.
Wow, wow. Okay. Well, it's good to see that, Central is on the move and that there well, let me just say to you guys that I don't know if you guys already know that. Plans are in the works to rebuild Central High
Yeah.
School.
Yeah.
So the new school will be coming up sometime soon. And as a matter of fact, if my recollection serves me right, the first person who called for reconstruction of Central High School, he may not be getting credit for that. I think it was Michael Thurland, who was a school teacher, who became a senator,
Right.
and he called for that. And today, of course, everything is in place to rebuild Central High School. You guys participate in sporting activities? You don't play on any of the varsity teams?
Yeah, we play on football varsity.
Or you play football varsity?
Yeah.
Okay, what about basketball? No?
No, not
All right,
basketball.
okay. But that's good. I love basketball.
Mhm.
I think football also has its great points. It's pretty strategic. Basketball is also strategic. All the sports are, To me, what I like about basketball is that, you have so much of a display of what should I call it, skill? Like what I see Ja Morant doing and so on, I love to see Ja Morant play.
Yeah.
We've had great basketball players from the Virgin Islands like Tim Duncan,
Mhm.
but he didn't have this flashiness in him. He was just a cool guy. I mean, he had great basketball skill, but he didn't, do it with great
He wasn't a
fanfare and so on.
Ja Morant,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And there's another guy who plays for the Spurs right now who's kind of
Wembanyama.
nah. What's the guy's name? Is it Cabral or something like this? Man. But he had some dunks recently similar to what Ja Morant does, He even tried to dump on the guy. What's his Shea?
Oh, Shea.
Yeah,
Yeah, Shea. Yeah.
yeah. But that one failed. He did dunk on another one, but that one attempt failed. Yes, man. But it's good to see that you guys have enjoyed the scholastic experience, etc. Let me ask you, and of course, what I shared with you, as we're talking about choices in this program, making wise decisions, and of course, Ben, you won't be going off island, you'll be right here at home, which is good. But for those who, especially young females, more so than the males, I don't know if I'm being gauche
Mhm.
in putting it that way because I'm saying most of the young females as opposed to the males. I think young females have to be extra careful
Yeah.
when they're going off island to attend college,
Yeah, definitely.
more so than the
So
males,
true.
you know, because we know of so many cases where young females went.
Oh,
So,
let's not forget um Mia Marcano. That case, that was crazy. And imagine she wasn't living on the campus.
uh-huh.
I think she was in a yeah, she was in the apartments. Mia Marcano, the kid,
I remember the case.
the
I remember
guy,
the case. Yeah, and
killed her.
the guy
The
kidnapped her
maintenance guy.
and unalive her. Yeah,
Yeah, that's he
Yeah.
was obsessed with the girl and he killed
and
unalive the
she was
people
from St.
daughter.
Croix, right?
Yeah.
Okay, she was from St. Croix. Yes, I recall that case. And this guy was just obsessed with the young lady, just seeing her around.
Yeah, comment, that was he broke in,
Yeah,
take the girl,
yeah.
carry her to wherever,
Unalive her.
unalive her, and then people, her family left to search for answers.
Yeah, because she was supposed to be visiting the family that same weekend and she didn't show up. Yeah. I know so many horror stories I can share with the world in terms of young females going away to college and finding themselves in trouble. But even the young males have to be careful. And even here in the Virgin Islands, you got to be careful.
Everyone got to be careful.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
As you begin to socialize and you begin to, when you turn around the corner of 18, moving towards 19, 20 and beyond, and you begin to go out with friends and meet people, you got to be very careful in terms of what you drink, who brings your drink. You know, if you can't follow the chain of custody of that drink from the bartender or the server to you, you should not even drink it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the person you least expect to want to harm you,
They go harm you.
maybe the enemy trying to harm you.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful about that. And then of course I'm saying that your counselors. How often do you guys meet with your counselors in school?
Our counselors are very active. Especially mine and James.
Mm-hmm. What's her name is James?
Yeah, always sending emails, always checking in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
And that's good because I think a lot of times, counselors tend to abdicate their responsibility and don't reach out to the children to the students.
Yeah, you're the one have to go and find out. Sometimes it's like, okay, let me know where I stand here.
Mm-hmm.
When you close to graduating and then you find out you got a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Right. Yep.
And you gotta play catch up.
Okay. Now, what we want to discuss with you guys tonight, because young people find themselves in problematic situations sometimes. We just had a case on a neighboring Caribbean island where a young woman who was in a relationship with a young man decided she no longer wanted to be in a relationship. There is a child. I'm not too sure if the child belongs to the guy, but the guy couldn't accept the young woman not wanting to continue the relationship, and so he unalived her. This happened. I mean, that's trending right now. I've known of other cases. We've had cases right here on St. Croix, and St. Thomas, where guys just couldn't take it. And so we try to discuss situations that may become problematic here on this program and to see how the players handle themselves as they go through, such situations, tenuous situations or relationships, if I may, and see where poor decisions might have been made. So we have this scenario here. I'm going to let Mandy read it out, and then we'll get into a discussion. Because these are scenarios that young people find themselves
everyday choices, everyday situations, right?
Yep.
All right. So, love, dreams, and different paths. Jamal and Tiana had just graduated from high school together. They were known as the perfect couple. Smart, hardworking, and deeply in love. Throughout their senior year, they talked endlessly about building a future together. But after graduation, reality began to set in. Tiana received a scholarship to attend a university in Florida to study nursing. It was everything she had worked for. Meanwhile, Jamal's family was struggling financially after his father had lost his job. Jamal decided to stay home and enter the workforce immediately to help support his mother and younger siblings. At first, they promised each other that nothing would change. They believed love alone would keep them together, but problems soon began to appear. Tiana was excited about college life, new experiences, and opportunities. Jamal started working long hours in construction and often came home exhausted. He began feeling insecure whenever Tiana talked about new friends, campus events, and her future plans. One evening, during a video call, Jamal asked, "Do you think you still want me after college? You're moving forward while I'm stuck here." Tiana became upset and replied, "You think working is being stuck? I'm trying to build a future for us too." The conversation ended in silence. As months passed, the pressure increased. Jamal felt abandoned. Tiana felt unsupported. Their love was now being tested by distance, responsibility, jealousy, and different life paths. Now they both face difficult questions. Should Jamal sacrifice his dreams to stay close to home and support his family? Should Tiana turn down her scholarship to protect the relationship? Can young love survive when two people are growing in different directions? How do young couples balance love, education, career goals, and family responsibilities? And most importantly, can two people truly support each other's future without holding each other back?
All right. Now, what's interesting here is that when you guys came to the program, you both give a shout out to your girl.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's significant
Hmm.
because it means that your girls are important to both of you guys.
Yeah.
Just the same way how your family is important because you shout out to your parents as well and your boys then.
Hmm.
So relationships are important, you know. And in your case, of course, being you've decided to stay right here to attend college.
Hmm.
And there are some who will remain here and they're going to join the workforce, going
Yeah,
to find
go
a
to
job,
work.
go out to work. All of these things present some dynamic, which is a little beyond what you're faced with in the school setting. You know, um, you going to college. College is not the same as high school in a number of ways. You know, the way how your teachers, whom you both indicate that you appreciate the teachers that you have. In college, it is not the same.
Yeah, different
The,
ball
the
game. This
teachers don't,
adulthood.
yeah, they ain't gonna time to baby you
Yeah.
and walk you through the tightrope and so on. You're pretty much on your own. You pretty much have to live up to expectation, um, rigor, rigors set up by the institution that you expected to abide by. So it's a whole new ball game. And so, your relationships, same. As you go on to college, you're gonna meet new people, and the question is how to
Keep
deal with
it
these things.
intact.
All right. And so here we have the situation between Tiana
And
and
Jamal.
Jamal. Jamal has chosen to remain at home to work. Tiana has moved on to college. And you see the dynamic of what begins to play,
Hmm.
with one being away from the other, and you see where it ends up going. And so, then first of all, do you think that young people, I'm asking both of you, do you think that young people should put their future
Mhm.
careers first, or developing their relationship which they began with a partner? In other words, which should get the greater priority?
Your career, because you work like almost all your life for that opportunity. So,
Okay.
and you can make money and still support that relationship if you guys like trust each other.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you think that the career should be given greater priority, if I may?
Right.
You feel the same way?
Yeah, I feel the same way, and I feel like your partner should understand. Like, if you want a good future together, then this is what the man in the relationship have to take seriously.
Can you repeat that again so we can hear that?
I feel like the woman should understand in the relationship that the career is more important. If you want to have a good future together, I feel like the woman should understand that the man has to put his career first.
All right.
Yeah,
But you guys realize that it takes communication to
yeah,
Yeah.
arrive
Get
at
down
such
that
information.
understanding.
So definitely communication is an important part of a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And you also have to set parameters, boundaries, if I may.
Mhm.
You know, so and you've got to respect the boundaries that are being set. Okay. Let me ask you guys another thing, because I know you guys. Do you have any friends who currently have long distance relationships? In other words, somebody who is in a relationship with someone off island, if I may, whether on the mainland or one of the neighboring Caribbean islands. You know, for example, a friend who resides in St. Croix but has a girlfriend in St. John or St. Thomas, Puerto Rico, St. Lucia. You all know of any such situations, scenarios?
yeah. I know about Azai, that girlfriend in St. Thomas.
So he has a girlfriend in St. Thomas.
Yeah.
Interesting. So let me ask you guys something. Just from your young experience, do you find that advisable to have a girlfriend who resides on another island?
Me personally, I wouldn't do it, but
You wouldn't do it.
nah.
Jamie, what do you think?
I feel I wouldn't do it either because actually,
No, I you gotta like know the person. You can't like really know
Yeah.
someone online. Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
I feel like you gotta meet up with them first, and then then you could see if you could take it somewhere.
yeah.
Okay. So you guys don't support online relationships.
Nah, this is like 50-50. You know,
It's like 50
if you guys like met before and like went long distance, I guess that's cool.
Yeah.
You guys realize that. Go ahead, Mandy.
It have worked for some people. Good luck to them, but I don't think I could put myself into that mix because you truly don't know the person, and crazy stuff has been happening lately with those online hookups. I mean, some people think they were lucky in life. It worked out. They got married. They're still together today from an online app. But I gotta know people. Like, I can't just jump into that kind of crazy stuff.
But you guys realize that this is a trending thing right now. Lots of people have online relationships. Even though some of them end up in disaster. I know people who have, listen, when you have not seen somebody in person, you've not met the person, and the person sends you pictures where they look like a real dime piece,
A model. All the
Coke bottle
magazines.
shape and all of that. And then when you meet the person's a tub. I mean, let's be for real.
Yeah, I know you.
Huh?
See that.
Oh my gosh, that's like 90 Day. You ever watch that show, 90 Day Fiance? That's
I never watched it,
absolutely insane. These
but-
people are getting married to people who.
They got barrel shaped people who send you a picture of somebody else, and you think I have a friend of mine who had an online relationship, and when he saw the person they were supposed to meet, he made an about face. Didn't even bother go up to the person.
That was not his speed
Yeah, so people do lie,
all the time.
if I may use that expression. And so they'll present something to you online, but it's not the real thing. And you've got to be able to deal with that. So what has happened in some instances is that people unalive people simply because they were deceived. Now that's wrong.
It is wrong.
I went on a blind date once. I'll never do it again.
Mhm.
It was a hookup from a friend that lived in another place, and her boyfriend had a friend that lived where I was residing. So I decided to take the opportunity and go on the blind date. Now,
Mhm.
when the blind date arrived at the door, I wanted to say, have a belly ache. I can't go any place again because I was like, what is going on here? I
Mhm.
thought it was SpongeBob.
But a man
But the
who
date
has,
was great.
yeah, yeah. But I think there is a, because men and women are wired differently, and I hope people don't tear me apart for saying that. It's easier for a woman to accept the SpongeBob or Pillsbury Doughboy, appearance of a guy than it is for a man to accept a woman who comes in a SpongeBob SquarePants shape.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that when you're looking at relationships, these are not the things you should focus on. You got to
And,
look at attitudes.
and let me tell you, not only was it SpongeBob, the car looked like a car from
Lord
Ghostbusters.
have mercy.
I was out in a Ghostbuster vehicle, and then I was with SpongeBob. So I'm having dinner, and I'm seeing girls on the next side laughing, kiki, like, what's so funny?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying that to me, relationships should be based on a lot more than just appearances. But some appearances can give you an almost heart attack, when you see the person. So, no, I'm serious,
You see,
you know. But but hey, it is
A
what
whole
it is.
cardiac arrest.
Yeah, come on. You gotta be for real. But anyway, I would suggest to you guys, and it's good that you guys already have preliminaries, and I hope that you guys have shared with your friend your preference not to have these long
Long distance
distance relationships,
relationship.
at least not at such an early age, you know. But I'm telling you guys that me, from personal experience, when I attended college, I saw what happened to long distance relationships. I don't recommend it. Not for people going to college. Maybe beyond college, when you're a professional working and you can afford to hop on a plane every weekend to visit the person, yes, but college years, it's a difficult thing. I would suggest that if you and your girlfriend, you've been attending high school together, if you guys can attend college in the same place, it's better. It's more advisable that you do that.
But life is shape shifting. Sometimes your soulmate is not here on St.
I disagree with that. That's why some parents like tell. I've known relationships that turn sour because of that, where the parent tells the girl, "Man, you need to go out there and meet people and enjoy the world." They actually encourage the daughter to do that. Don't get tied down with this guy you've been dating in high school. Go away, meet new people, see what life is all about. And these girls take that advice, they go away, and next thing, relationship done.
They with new people.
Yeah, yeah. So I recommend that. Listen,
But what if you stay with your person and it don't work out? That's why I said life is shape shifting.
I know that can
Things
happen. Listen. The reality is that any turn of events can show up in life. You don't base your life on the probability that something will go wrong. If that was the case, people wouldn't get married. You don't get married thinking of the probability of divorce. And I guess the people who go into
Nope.
prenuptial arrangements is because they're looking forward to the possibility that they're going to have a divorce, so that you're trying to hold on to what's yours. I don't advise that. You know, I don't advise that. I think if you're getting into a relationship, get into the relationship, yeah, and just hope that it's going to be great. You know, you manage risks.
We have to have room for disappointment. You have to have a little.
No, you don't have room for disappointment. You prepare yourself that in the event of a disappointment, you can handle it. You don't go planting crops and thinking that a hurricane is going to come and destroy your crops. No, the hurricane is not really,
That's right.
it doesn't have an upfront position in your psyche. You know, you're more concerned about planting the crops and you're looking forward to the crops growing, bearing fruit, and you can harvest. At the same time, in the event a hurricane comes and destroys your crops, you don't fold your arms and cry. You see how you can start over again, how you can rebuild. It's the same thing for a relationship. When you get into a relationship, you're looking for the best outcome for your relationship. You're hoping that you, Ben, you and your girl will have a good relationship that's going to last and eventually ends up in marriage. Now, if something goes wrong, you deal with it. And how do you deal with it? You don't turn around and begin to curse a stink. You don't turn around and want to unalive her. You know, that's not how we do it. It turns out that it sours, okay, hey, we tried something. It didn't work, you want to move along? That's fine. You know, I wish you the best. You got to develop this kind of way of dealing with that. But let's get back to the Jamal situation and Tiana. Let me ask you guys a question here. Tiana decided she was going away to school. Jamal decided that he was staying home. He has a job. Tiana goes out there and she begins to meet new people, and then there is a dynamic that Jamal doesn't like. Do you think that Jamal was being a little unreasonable and perhaps too jealous? What's your take on that?
I feel like he being too jealous.
He was being too jealous, right? And being unreasonable. Man, this side, let me hear you, because I see you making up your face like hey, let me hear you.
What about how Jamal tripping out?
Mm-hmm.
That she want to meet new people?
Mm-hmm. She was meeting new people. She has to go out with people. The college scene has parties, you know.
Yeah,
has a lot of activities going on, you know.
Yeah, so maybe he feeling insecure. His girl gonna see somebody else and things gonna go a little different.
So do you think that the girl should? How do you guys feel about
have trust though. I mean, like,
yeah, I feel like the girl should reassure him. Like,
but he's having trust issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why reassurance is a big thing.
All right. Do you think that simply because your girlfriend goes away to school, she shouldn't attend parties, she shouldn't go out with friends to a pizza night or something? She should just stay in the dorm?
No.
That's why you have boundaries.
Okay, so that's why you have boundaries.
Yeah.
So what kind of boundaries would you place on a girlfriend who goes away to college?
You can't go to no parties for sure.
You can't go to
But
parties.
you can't stop her.
Hold on. You can't go to parties. That's a boundary. Jenny, what do you think?
My thing is, I feel like if you can't trust a girl, and you shouldn't be in the relationship. So like, the boundary is whatever. Do whatever you want. I trust you.
Yeah, it must be based on trust, communication. Hey, listen now. I love you. I don't want you to restrict yourself, but life calls for discipline. You want to go to a party? That's fine. But just remember that we are into a relationship where I respect you and you ought to respect me, where we show loyalty. And so as you go out there with friends, draw the line. You know, because I'm going to tell you guys something right now. And I'll give you the man side of it. You can meet the girl who is the prettiest girl, who has the loveliest shape in life that you've seen today. You have a relationship with her. Trust me. That might hold so for 3 months, 5 months, 6 months down the line, you're going to see another woman who's perhaps even more beautiful.
The question is, where is your sense of commitment, loyalty, and devotion? And it goes for both the girl and the guy. You know, not simply because you see another pretty girl
Mhm.
that you want to just forget about your girl and go to the other pretty girl. Not because your girl has seen another pretty boy, a good looking boy, that she should want to forget about you and go to the other one. We got to have discipline in life. You know, we got to draw some lines. We got to set some definitions, some barriers, some parameters in terms of our relationship. I'm going to tell you guys straight up. You know, there will be temptation in any relationship. There will be temptation on both sides. You got to learn to contain temptation. You got to learn to push aside temptation because it will come. Trust me. And so I think what Jamal had to do was to establish, that's just my take. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but he had to set some parameters, some definitions. He should have gotten into serious discussion with his girl, let the girl understand what he doesn't like about what was unfolding, and see how they could contain it and bring about some kind of resolution. And I think he failed to do that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of communication that was needed in the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely. Let me ask you guys another question, like sort of like, you know, moving away from that situation with Jamal, because we have discussed so many things here on this program in terms of relationships going sour. You know, even we've discussed cases where best friends move on the other person's girl or guy. We have discussed this on this program here. This is something that happens. You know, if you guys think it doesn't happen, sometimes your girlfriend finds herself in a situation where maybe that you have had an argument with your girl and she calls one of your boys trying to talk to him and say, well, listen, Ben did something to me tonight. I didn't like it, you know. And next thing, your boy looking to move on your girl, you know. Your girl is just trying to get a little advice, trying to get a little comfort, you know, because you did something that she didn't like. And next thing you know,
But
your boy.
she needs to have a line of boundary to not go there. If she see this man pushing himself up under her, she need to cut it out. Like, yo, I was just asking you for some sound advice. You getting a little too close and friendly right now.
Okay.
Because, you know, if boundaries is not put in place, that's when things escalate into something else.
All right. Okay.
And he has a friend. But men gonna be men.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna always try and push their part. But to me, that's not a true friend.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't true to the game if you gonna try and move on your friend. You know, like what?
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Before we conclude the program, I want to just take you guys into something else. Both of you, what's your general take on life? What life means to you, both?
Life is like just like working and like being the best version of yourself.
Okay, I like this. Being the best version of yourself. Jaden, you have anything different or something you want to add?
Same thing he said, and just growing with peace and love, and just loving those around you, because you only get to live once. Just
Okay.
love everyone around you.
Just only in this life.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even believe in death as people see death. I don't think that first of all, let me ask you guys something. Do you believe in a higher being?
I believe
What did you do? Okay.
God, yeah.
All right. You believe in God. To put it straight, you believe in God. All right. I think that this here is a learning experience, a preparation for something much greater than life as we see it here. And I've had some personal experiences that's not ordinary. So when I speak, it's because of some deep personal experiences I've had in life that's out of the ordinary. And in addition to that, I have gone down the rabbit hole on so many occasions in terms of seeking to find out what this is all about. So I don't think that you die and it's over. I think death is really a separation of spirit from the body. The body goes into the grave or whatever is done with the body, but the spirit moves on. And so sometimes people ask me, you say you believe in God. Do you have any evidence of God? Do you have any proof that God exists? Have you seen God? And I ask them the question, you breathe, right? Have you seen your breath? But you know you breathe, although you don't see the breath. You believe that there is air around you. Do you see the air? You don't see air, but you know the air exists. There are things that lead you to believe that they ought to know, not just believe, but to know that air exists. Now there are experiments you can carry out where you can see the presence of air, just like how, light goes through a spectrum, or spectrometer, I think is what they call it, and you get to see colors. So certain colors will show you the presence of air around you. So you don't have to see something to know it is there.
Yeah.
You don't see the words that you speak, but you know when you speak, you express yourself in terms of words. And so I have seen things and I've heard things and I have perceived things that make me know that there is a higher power. I didn't come here by myself. I didn't create myself, but I am here. And so somebody has to be responsible for me being here. Well, when I check, I know that my parents, my father and mother came together and a pregnancy took place. My mother birthed me. So I go back to my parents. But beyond my parents, we have grandparents and great-grandparents, and eventually you come to a point where you have initial parents, but who's beyond, who's responsible for the existence of parents. And so I have to conclude that it is a creator, because I'm a creature. And if I'm a creature and I'm created, then there must be a creator who created me. If we see the world around us that has been created, we call it the creation. If you have a creation, there must be a creator. If you have a building, there must be what? If you have a building, there must be a builder who builds the building. So there you have it. And so I do believe in a creator, and I do believe that we have a responsibility to that creator. And I just wanted to find out. Now, one other thing I want to ask you. And of course, your world today is different from the world I grew up in. Because we have discussed apparel worn by women, especially during carnival and festival celebrations, I want to hear your take in terms of how you see women dress today, how you see women dress in terms of the carnival celebrations we have. What's your position on that?
I don't really know. Like, if it's like their culture is cool.
Okay, let me hear it again. If it's their culture,
If it's their culture, I
It's
guess
cool.
it's cool. Yeah.
all right. Jaden,
Yeah, the same thing. It's a part of the culture, but recently I feel like they've been getting more nude.
all right.
Yeah,
In other words, the nudity is becoming a little too extreme. Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
All right, okay. But if carnival is a cultural expression, and traditionally, when you involve in carnival, you don't wear the gown of a nun or the outfit of a priest. That's not what carnival is all about. Because when you have the carnival queen show, these ladies are on stage, and they've either got some kind of
Bathing suit.
yeah, it shows legs and so on. So
Would you guys be okay with your girlfriend in those carnival costumes with all the butt cheeks exposed?
yeah. As long as she with me and I let her.
you don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I don't. Have a
Interesting. I'm not. Ben?
Yeah, same.
All right. Now that's interesting. That's interesting. They don't mind the girls being in carnival and showing.
You hear what they say? As long as they're accompanied,
Yeah.
it's not an issue.
In other words, it's not an issue for these ladies to show their assets as long as you're there with them. Is that what you're saying?
That's what they say.
Yeah. Now, let's be for real. I don't support that, but let me tell you something.
Mhm.
Don't we go to the beach and the ladies expose quite a bit and they're right there at the beach with us?
Right?
So, hey,
Same thing.
you know, sometimes we got to put things in perspective. I have not
Look at it that
looked at
way.
that until I'm now discussing it with younger people who are living in terms of the times and what is trending,
Right.
what is acceptable. And so, come on, I've got to be realistic about it. And so, you guys have just given me a whole new perspective in terms of how I viewed this whole thing because I went to St. Thomas for Carnival. I saw some things in the Jouvet and I drew my conclusions. But I'll tell you one important difference. Some of these young ladies, they have assets. They look good, you know, with whatever they expose. But some of them, they should rethink it.
Oh my gosh.
They should rethink it. If I have a bed belly, I ain't taking off my shirt in public, you know. You follow what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
I'm slim and trim. I don't mind doing it. But if I had a big bear belly, I wouldn't take off my shirt in public. I'd try to hide it. And I just think that, you know, some of the ladies don't have,
What it takes.
they don't have what
So
it takes.
some of them were Shensi and Ruby Rose, and others was just like Ursula from the Little Mermaid.
So you really want me to say this
I do.
publicly so people know that I'm following all these people on Facebook. I'm looking at Shensia and
Shen Ying.
and Ruby Rose and all of them. You
Come
know,
on.
and Cardi B.
And
and
You
so on.
see, now he called Cardi.
Yeah.
The Libras are winning.
No. I have a beautiful wife. I look at her. I don't look at other women.
She a Libra just like them.
Yeah,
So
she really
the
does.
Libras are winning.
Is Josh around? We've just about come full circle. I want to thank you guys for joining me this evening and having a discussion with me. We will be having a show where we'll be talking about the use of cell phones in schools and whether there should be a ban on cell phones. I'm trying to get a couple of teachers to join us. So hopefully you guys can come in and share your views about whether cell phone use should be controlled, banned in the schools, and we can have a discussion between you and the teachers. So we're looking forward to that. But I want to thank you guys for coming this evening.
Thank
And
you very much.
like I said,
Appreciate it.
I do have a gift for you guys. Let me just take one call before we go, Josh. Very quickly. Hello, caller. Good evening and welcome.
Yes, I just wanted to commend these young people that you have there tonight. This is Chaz out of the Lips here from our love kids. And are those two brothers?
They are brothers. Yes, they are.
Well, that's great because I believe that they represent our next generation.
All right.
Definitely do. And I like to see more young people doing what they're doing instead of out here shooting up each other's and whatever. So, well, congratulations to both of you. And we'll keep both of you in our prayers. And anytime you go out in the world, anytime you find a brother or sister looking to slip, just give them a hand up. Like you say, pull them up. God bless you all. Bye.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
coming and sharing.
Thank you.
Be
Good
blessed.
night.
Bye.
All right.
All right, folks, we'll come full circle. I think that was perfect ending with this call recording at this point. So again, until the next show, you guys stay safe, be blessed, and give thanks and praises unto the Most High. Bye.
Thank you.